as we begin this practice, go ahead and get into a meditative posture. So this is best done in a seated position. You can do it lying down, but I've found that seated allows me the awareness to really focus on the practice of Tonglen, which is taking in and giving out. Tonglen is taking in and sending back out. So noticing your body, noticing symmetry in your body, but not forcing symmetry in your body. Noticing where your hands are resting. Noticing your feet flat on the floor. And if you haven't done so, now is a good time to just close down the eyes. And if you'd like to keep your eyes open, just hold a soft gaze. And noticing your breathing, not yet changing your breathing, and not in this practice changing your breathing pattern at all. So we won't be taking deep breaths in and deep breaths out during the practice. So just now noticing your breathing. And when you breathe in, I want you to imagine that you're breathing down the spine into your pelvis, grounding yourself into the chair. So breathing down the spine and grounding into the chair. And when you breathe out, you're breathing up the spine into the base of the skull, lengthening your spine. So you might, as you breathe out for this first time with this in mind, tuck your chin down just a little bit to lengthen the spine and just notice the freedom in the back of your neck. And noticing how open that space is. So breathing down into the pelvis and down the spine into the pelvis, grounding yourself to the chair, and then breathing out up the spine. And now that you've settled into a place of groundedness and relaxation, we'll move into the first stage of Tonglen. So first, rest your mind briefly for a second or two in a state of openness or stillness. We're suddenly opening the mind to a basic spaciousness and clarity. First, resting the mind, opening to a basic spaciousness and clarity. And second, we are going to work with texture. So breathe in a feeling of hot, dark, heavy, and breathe out a feeling of cool, bright, and light. So when you're breathing in, it's hot and dark. And when you breathe out, it's cool and bright. And breathing in completely through all the pores of your body. And breathing out, radiating out completely through all the pores of your body. And we will do this for a little bit until it feels synchronized with your in and out breaths. Breathing in hot and dark, breathing out cool and bright. In completely through all the pores of your body, out completely through all the pores of your body. Not focusing on how deep the breath is, but just focusing on breathing in completely and out completely, with the focus on texture as well. In hot and dark, out cool and bright. And once this feels synchronized, once these textures feel synchronized with your breathing, we'll move on to the third stage of this Tonglen practice today. So thirdly, we're going to work with a personal situation. So it can be very specific, something that maybe you've gone through recently, big or small. But I want you to focus on something that was uncomfortable, and something that really happened. So not an imaginary situation. I want you to think about something that was uncomfortable. And traditionally in Tonglen, you begin by practicing Tonglen for someone you care about and wish to help. However, today, I want you to start the practice thinking about this tension or uncomfortableness or pain that you're feeling. And I want you to also practice it for all of those just like you. But right now, I want you to think about what it is that's happened recently or something you might be feeling right now. And imagine that when you breathe this in, you're breathing in that tension or uncomfortableness, and you hold it in your chest, in your heart space, this place of openness and clarity. And once you feel that tension release in your chest, breathe it back out as love and light, back out into the universe. So breathing in this tense or uncomfortable situation, your personal situation that's uncomfortable, breathing that in, holding it in your heart space, allowing it to feel clear and open, and then breathing it out as love or light. Taking a few moments to do this, breathing in that tension, holding it, allowing the tension to release, and breathing it out as positivity, love, or light. And now finally, make the taking in of that uncomfortableness and send it out larger. Send it out to the universe. So if you're doing this last part for someone that you love, extend it out to those who are in the same situation as that person that you love. So if it's pain, imagine that you're breathing in that pain for yourself and everybody else that has experienced that pain. And you hold that in, allow that tension to release, and breathe it back out to them as positivity, love, or light. If you're doing Tonglen for someone you see on TV or on the street, do it for everybody in that same boat. Making this practice of taking in that uncomfortable feeling larger than just one person. And if you're doing Tonglen for all of those people who are feeling anger or fear or whatever it is they're trapped in, maybe that's big enough. But you could go further in all of these cases. You could do Tonglen for people you consider to be your enemies, those who hurt you or who have hurt others. Do Tonglen for them, thinking of them as having the same tension or uncomfortableness as yourself or a friend or a loved one, breathing in their pain and sending them relief. Tonglen can extend infinitely, and as you do the practice, gradually over time, your compassion naturally expands, and so does your realization that things are not as solid as you thought. And as you do this practice gradually at your own pace, you will be surprised to find yourself more and more able to be there for others, even in what used to seem like impossible situations. And taking this practice as often as you need to, maybe as a reminder for compassion for yourself or for others, or maybe as a way to expand all of the great things you normally do for yourself and others. Taking a breath in and out, a cleansing breath through the nose and out through the mouth, and enjoying the rest of your day.